Assalamualaikum and good evening to Miss Izni and my fellow friends. My name is Nurul Afifah binti Cik Nazmi, metric number I18303437 from Business Law, and today I would like to present Chapter 6 Company Law Part 2. Before this, I want to explain table of contents for company law. First, company financing. Second, share capital. Third, dividends. Fourth, debentures and loan capital. Fifth, directors and duties. Sixth, remedies and penalties for directors' breaches. 7, secretary. 8, auditors. 9, meetings. Okay, we go to the first subtopic, company financing. Introduction. A company may raise funds in various ways to run its business. Most common way issues share or debentures to the public, prohibits any invitation to the public to subscribe for any share in or debentures of the private company. Only public company may issue share and debentures to public. Share and debentures refer to as security. Syarikat boleh mengumpulkan dana dengan pelbagai cara untuk menjalankan perniagaannya, dan cara yang paling berkesan iaitu menerbitkan saham ataupun debentur kepada orang ramai. Syarikat swasta melarang sebarang jemputan kepada orang ramai untuk melanggan sebarang saham ataupun debentur, yang mana hanya syarikat awam yang boleh menerbitkan saham dan debentur kepada orang ramai. Saham dan debentur disebut sebagai security, and I want to explain what is security the next. Next, definition of securities. Section 2 Capital Markets and Service Act 2007 CMSA. Section 2 CMSA defines security as debentures, stocks or bonds issued or proposed to be issued by any government, share in or debentures of a body, corporate or an unincorporated body, units in a unit trust scheme or prescribed investment, and includes any right, option or interest in respect thereof. Confidence in capital market, accrue and material information critical to investors to make investment decision, information be set out in disclosure document or prospectus. Security dapat ditakrifkan sebagai debentur, saham atau bonds yang diterbitkan atau dicadangkan untuk dikeluarkan oleh mana-mana kerajaan. Saham ataupun debentur merupakan badan korporat ataupun badan bukan korporat. Unit dalam skim ataupun unit amanah atau pelaburan yang ditetapkan dan merangkumi hak, pilihan atau kepentingan yang berkenaan dengannya. Keyakinan dalam pasaran modal mementingkan kepada maklumat yang tepat dan juga material kritikal kepada pelabur untuk membuat keputusan pelaburan. Maklumat yang dinyatakan dalam dokumen ataupun pendedahan kepada prospektus. Okay, let's continue. 1.3 Regulation of Securities Offering in Malaysia. Merit-based regulation, disclosure-based regulation. Merit-based regulation, regulator takes the primary responsibility of assessing the merits of particular investment in securities. Parental or regulator. For example, father sets all house rules and decide with whom his daughter will marry, investigates the man on whether he should his daughter. Peraturan penawaran sekuriti di Malaysia terbahagi kepada dua, iaitu merit-based regulation and disclosure-based regulation. Merit-based regulation iaitu peraturan berdasarkan prestasi. Regulator iaitu pengawas selia mengambil tanggungjawab utama untuk menilai kebajikan pelaburan tertentu, yang mana merit-based regulation melibatkan parental or regulator. For example, bapa menetapkan semua peraturan rumah dan memutuskan dengan siapa anak perempuannya akan berkahwin, iaitu dengan menyiasat lelaki tersebut adakah ciri-ciri lelaki tersebut sesuai dengan anak perempuannya. Next, I want to explain DBR, Disclosure Based Regulation. Issue discloses all relevant information so that the investing public have the information they would reasonably require to evaluate the risks and the benefits of the securities that are made available to them, made by person who issues it, like company. For example, the daughter may choose her own husband, but the man must disclose to the girl all relevant information regarding him. Here, the daughter makes a decision. 1.4 Transfer of the legal provision regulating prospectus. 2000 Company Act 1965 to the Security Commission Act 1993, except prospectus for the offer for subscription for or purchase of share or debentures of unleased recreational club. Peraturan berdasarkan pendedahan. Penerbit mendedahkan semua maklumat yang relevan sehingga orang awam yang melabur mempunyai maklumat yang mereka perlukan untuk menilai risiko dan juga faedah sekuriti yang disediakan oleh mereka, yang mana dibuat oleh orang yang mengeluarkannya iaitu syarikat. Contoh yang dapat diberikan iaitu seorang anak perempuan boleh memilih suaminya sendiri, tetapi lelaki itu mesti mendedahkan kepada perempuan tersebut semua maklumat yang berkaitan dengannya, dan daripada situ perempuan tersebut dapat membuat keputusan. 1.4 Pemindahan peruntukan undang-undang yang mengatur prospektif. Pada tahun 2000, Akta Syarikat 1965 kepada Akta Suruhanjaya Sekuriti 1993, kecuali prospektif untuk tawaran langganan atau pembelian saham ataupun debentur kelab rekreasi yang tidak disenaraikan. Next, 1.5 Transfer of Provision Relating to Fire Racing. 2007 Security Commission Act and Capital Markets and Service Act. Point 2 Scheme of Regulation for Security Offering under CMSA. Two-tiered system of approval. First, whether the offer of securities require the Securities Commission approval under Section 212 CMSA. Whether a prospectus must be registered under Section 232 CMSA. Pemindahan peruntukan yang berkaitan dengan pengumpulan data, yang mana pada tahun 2007 melibatkan Security Commission Act dan juga Capital Markets and Service Act. Skema peraturan untuk penawaran sekuriti di bawah CMSA. Sistem kelulusan yang melibatkan kepada dua peringkat. Yang pertama, sama ada tawaran sekuriti memerlukan kelulusan Suruhanjaya Sekuriti di bawah Seksyen 212 CMSA, dan juga adakah prospektif mesti didaftarkan di bawah Seksyen 232 CMSA. Next, 2.2 Since 1 July 2000, Securities Commission has taken over the functions of registration of prospectuses from the Register of Companies for most offer of securities. Section 36A2 CMSA Master's Ground of Withdrawal. Second, Section 36A3 CMSA Commission may permit to continue to protect interests of publics. And the last, Section 231 to CMSA, no chief executive officer responsible for preparing or approving financial statements or financial information, internal auditors, or a secretary of a listed corporation shall be liable to be sued in any cause for any reports submitted by such person in good faith and in the intended if performance of his duties. Sejak 1 Julai pada tahun 2000, SC telah mengambil alih fungsi pendaftaran prospektif dari pendaftar syarikat untuk kebanyakan tawaran sekuriti. Pada Seksyen 36A mesti menyatakan alasan penarikan. Seksyen 36A, Komisen boleh mengizinkan untuk terus melindungi kepentingan masyarakat. Dan Seksyen 231, tiada ketua eksekutif pengawal yang bertanggungjawab untuk menyiapkan atau meluluskan penyata kewangan atau maklumat kewangan, juru audit dalaman atau setiausaha syarikat tersenarai yang bertanggungjawab untuk disaman di mana-mana mahkamah untuk setiap laporan yang disampaikan oleh orang tersebut dengan baik dalam melaksanakan tugas. The next subtopic is share capital, most common type of source of finance. Company limited by share issues and allows share to shareholder in return for capital, money or assets. How public company acquire public funding by offering or inviting public to subscribe to its securities equal share. Share capital iaitu jenis sumber kewangan yang paling biasa. Syarikat terhad oleh terbitan saham dan memberikan saham kepada pemegang saham sebagai balasan modal dari segi wang ataupun aset. Dan bagaimana syarikat awam dengan menawarkan atau mengajak orang ramai untuk melanggan sekuriti ataupun saham. Next, Section 4, share in the share capital of a corporation and includes stock except where a distinction between stock and share is expressed or implied. Borland Trustee versus Steel Bros and Co. Limited. A share is the interest of a shareholder in the company measured by a sum of money for the purpose of liability in the first place and of interest in the second, but also consisting of a series of mutual covenants entered into by all the shareholders. Next, I want to explain capital structure types of capital, authorized or nominal or registered capital. Section 18(1) Commission Acts require companies to state in their memorandum of association the amount of their authorized or nominal capital is represent the maximum value of share that the company can issue or total amount of capital which the company is allowed to issue. Share capital that company propose to be registered and its division into shares of fixed amount. Company cannot allow share in excess of the company's authorized share capital. Berdasarkan Seksyen 18, menghendaki syarikat menyatakan dalam bentuk Memorandum of Association berapa jumlah modal yang sah dan juga nominal. Ini mewakili nilai maksimum saham yang dapat diterbitkan oleh syarikat ataupun jumlah modal yang dibenarkan oleh syarikat untuk diterbitkan, modal saham yang dicadangkan oleh syarikat untuk didaftarkan dan pembahagiannya menjadi saham jumlah yang tetap. Sebarang peruntukan saham yang melebihi modal saham syarikat adalah tidak sah. The next is issued capital, represent the nominal value of share capital which has been issued to its members. The nominal capital which has actually been allotted and issued to the shareholders. Company is not bound allot all its capital at once. A share is issued only if the name of shareholder has been registered in the register of members in respect of those shares. Paid up capital, the amount actually paid to a company for share allowance or issue to shareholders. If the shareholder makes a full payment of the purchase price of the share, the amount received is referred to as fully paid up capital. Issued capital merupakan nilai nominal modal saham yang telah dikeluarkan kepada ahlinya. Modal nominal yang sebenarnya telah diperuntukkan dan dikeluarkan kepada pemegang saham. Syarikat tidak terikat untuk memberi semua modal sekaligus, tetapi saham hanya dikeluarkan jika nama pemegang saham telah didaftarkan dalam pendaftaran ahli berkenaan dengan saham tersebut. Pay up capital, jumlah yang sebenar dibayar kepada syarikat untuk saham yang diperuntukkan ataupun yang dikeluarkan kepada pemegang saham. Sekiranya pemegang saham membuat pembayaran penuh harga beli saham atau jumlah yang diterima disebut sebagai modal berbayar sepenuhnya. Call up capital, the total amount called up by the company on the share allotted. Company is entitled to make a call at a later time for some or all of the balance owing on the share. Jumlah keseluruhan yang dikeluarkan oleh syarikat atas saham yang diperuntukkan dan di mana syarikat berhak untuk membuat panggilan pada kemudian hari atau sebahagian kepada semua baki yang terhutang. Reverse or uncalled capital, company may issue shares that are partly paid. Amount unpaid equal reverse capital or uncalled capital. The capital where a company has not yet called for payment of full nominal value. Syarikat boleh mengeluarkan saham yang dibayar daripada sebahagiannya dan modal syarikat belum meminta pembayaran nilai nominal yang penuh. Issues and allotment of share. Contractual rules, offer and acceptance, invitation to the public by company, offer by the public usually filled in a form, acceptance by the company when through its directors decide to allot share and send the applicant a notice of allotment. Meanings of allotment and issues. An allotment of share is the process in which a person is given the right to be included in the register of members within a specific company. An issuance of share is when the person is actually issues the share in which they are deemed entitled to. Classes of share. General rules. All share having same par value enjoy same rights irrespective of the amounts paid. Share with different right. Different classes of share. Share issued carry different rights. Table AR2 without prejudice to any special rights previously conferred on the holders of any existing share or class of share but subject to us. Share in the company may be issued by the directors and any such share may be issued with such preferred, deferred or other special rights or such restriction, whether in regard to dividend, voting, return of capital or otherwise, as the directors, subject to any ordinary resolution of the company determined. Rights attached to share may differ in regard to entitlement of dividends, priority in relation to payment of dividend, voting right, priority in payment of capital on winding up, right to participate in the distribution of surplus asset upon winding up. Most common types of different classes of share in Malaysia have two types, ordinary or equity share, preference share. Hak yang dilampirkan pada saham mungkin berbeza berkenaan dengan hak untuk dividen. Keutamaan berhubung dengan pembayaran dividen, mengundi dengan betul, keutamaan dalam pembayaran modal semasa, jenis kelas saham yang paling biasa di Malaysia terbagi kepada dua, iaitu saham equity ataupun saham keutamaan. Next slide is ordinary or equity share. Section 4 equity share means any share which is rate reference share. Common characteristic of ordinary share: not entitled to fixed or cumulative dividends, no priority in payment of dividends, right to participate in meeting and voting, right to be repeat their capital on a winding up after all other claimants have been repaid, right to share pro rata in any surplus asset on a winding up. Preference share. Section 4 commission at preference share means a share by whatever name called, which does not entitle the holder thereof to the rights to vote at a general meeting or to any right to participate beyond a specified amount in any distribution, whether by way of dividend or on redemption in a winding up or otherwise. Common characteristic: normally has fixed and cumulative dividend, priority to a return of capital on a winding up, non-participating as to surplus both while the company is a going concern and on a winding up, not entitled to attend and vote at general meeting. Next topic is dividend. Dividend refers to the business concern net profit distributed among the shareholders. It may also be termed as the parts of the profit of a business concern, which is distributed among its shareholders. Dividend is defined as a distribution to shareholders out of profits or reserves available for this purpose. Dividen merujuk kepada perniagaan berkenaan keuntungan bersih yang diagihkan di kalangan pemegang saham. Ia juga boleh disebut sebagai satu bahagian dari keuntungan perniagaan yang diedarkan di dalam kalangan pemegang saham, dan dividen ditakrifkan sebagai pengagihan kepada pemegang saham hasil keuntungan ataupun reserve yang tersedia. Types of dividend have four. First, cash dividends. Second, stock dividend. Third, bond dividend, and the last, property dividend. Cash dividend. If the dividend is paid in the form of cash to the shareholder, it is called cash dividend. It is paid periodically out of the business concern earnings after interest and tax. Cash dividends are common and popular types followed by majority of the business concern. Many companies pay dividends in cash. Sometimes cash dividend may be supplemented by a bonus issues, stock dividend. In addition, companies should have enough cash when cash dividends are declared, else arrangements should be made to borrow funds. And the last, if company follows stable dividend policy, it should prepare a cash budget for coming period. It is relatively difficult to make cash planning in anticipation of dividend needed. Next, bond dividend. Bond dividend is also known as scrip dividend. If the company does not have sufficient funds to pay cash dividend, the company promises to pay the shareholder as a future specific date with the help of issues of bond or notes. Dividen bond juga dikenali sebagai dividen scrip. Sekiranya syarikat tidak mempunyai dana yang mencukupi untuk membayar dividen tunai, syarikat berjanji untuk membayar pemegang saham pada tarikh tertentu untuk masa hadapan dengan bantuan terbitan bond ataupun wang kertas. Next, stock dividend. Stock dividend is paid in the form of the company's stock due to raising of more finance. Under this type, cash is returned by the business concern, represented as distribution of share in addition of cash dividend to existing shareholder. The shares are distributed proportionately, thus a shareholder returns is proportionate ownership of the company. Property dividend. Property dividends are paid in the form of some asset other than cash. It will distribute under the exceptional circumstance. This type of individual is not published in India. A company may issue a non-monetary dividend to investor rather than making a cash or stock payment. Record distribution at the fair market value of the asset distributed. Since the fair market value is likely to vary somewhat from the book value of the asset, the company will likely record the variance as a gain or loss. Next topic is debentures and loan capital. Debentures are a debt instrument used by companies and government to issue the loan. The loan is issued to corporates based on their reputation as a fixed rate of interest. Companies use debentures when they need to borrow the money at a fixed rate of interest for its expansion. Debenture adalah instrumen hutang yang digunakan oleh syarikat kerajaan untuk mengeluarkan pinjaman. Pinjaman ini dikeluarkan kepada syarikat berkenaan berdasarkan reputasi mereka dengan kadar faedah yang tetap. Syarikat menggunakan debenture apabila mereka perlu meminjam wang dengan kadar faedah tetap untuk tujuan perkembangan. Next, advantages and disadvantages of debentures. Advantage of debentures: investors who want fixed income at lesser risk prefer them. The company does not involve its profits in a debenture. As a debenture does not carry voting rights, financing through them does not dilute control of equity shareholders on management. Disadvantage of debentures: each company has certain borrowing capacity, which the issues of debentures, the capacity of a company to further borrow funds reduce. Debentures pose a permanent burden on the earnings of a company. Next, types of debenture: secured and unsecured. Secured debenture creates a charge on an asset of the company, thereby mortgaging the asset of the company. Unsecured debenture does not carry any charge or security on the asset of the company. Second, register and bearer. A registered debenture is recorded in the register of debenture holders of the company. A regular instrument of transfer is required for their transfer. In contrast, the debenture which is transferable by mere delivery is called bearer debenture. Next, convertible and non-convertible. Convertible debenture can be converted into equity share after the expiry of a specified period. On the other hand, a non-convertible debenture is those which cannot be converted into equity share. and the last is first and second. A debenture which is repaid before the other debenture is known as the first debenture. The second debenture is that which is paid after the first debenture has been paid back. The next is loan capital, source of company funding through two ways: share capital and loan capital. Share capital, companies repays profit as dividend. Company prohibit from returning capital to members. A person contributes towards the company capital is a member or shareholders. Loan capital is company required to pay interest even if no profit is made. Company must repay loan. A person who lends money to the company is the lender or creditor. Next is power to borrow. First, Section 21 Companies Act 26. A company should be capable of exercising all the functions of a body corporate and have the full capacity to carry on or undertake any business or activity. Second, Section 21 Companies Act 2016. A company shall have the full rights, powers and privileges for that purpose. Section 211 Companies Act 2016. A boss has all the powers necessary to manage, direct and supervise the management of company. The next topic is directors and duties. Directors. Company Act 2013 does not contain any exhaustive definition of the terms covered under Section 234 of the Act. Is defined as a director appointed to the board of a company. Akta Syarikat pada tahun 2013 tidak mengandungi definisi lengkap mengenai istilah directors dan di mana dilindungi di bawah Seksyen 234 Akta tersebut. Directors mendefinisi sebagai pengarah yang dilantik untuk lembaga syarikat. Introduction to directors' duty. First, applies to all categories of directors, including independent directors. Second, covered under Section 166, defines first time under the Acts. The introduction to directors' duty berlaku untuk semua kategori pengarah termasuk pengarah bebas dan dilindungi di bawah Seksyen 166 dan ditakrifkan pada kali pertama di bawah akta tersebut. Next, I want to explain directors' duties as in accordance with the articles of the company, as in good faith as well as for the best interest of the company and company's related parties. Exercise his duties with due and reasonable care, skill and diligence. Shall exercise independent judgment, not involved in a situation in which he may have a direct or indirect interest that conflicts or possible may conflicts with the interests of the company, not achieve or attempts to achieve any undue gain or advantage either to himself or to his related parties, not assign his office, and any assignment so made shall be void. Next, punishment for contravention. Punishable with a fine which shall not be less than Rs 100,000 but which may extend to Rs 500,000. Directors' liabilities. Liability for illegal acts. Directors receiving secret commission or bribe. Liability for breach of warranty of authority. Liability in respect of breach of trust. Liability of personal profits. Punishment for contravention dihukum dengan denda yang tidak kurang daripada Rs 100 bas tetapi boleh merangkumi 500,000. Directors liability, tanggungjawab atas perbuatan haram, pengarah yang menerima komisen rahsia ataupun rasuah, tanggungjawab kerana melanggar jaminan kuasa, tanggungjawab berhubung dengan pecah amanah dan juga tanggungjawab untuk keuntungan peribadi. Next topic is secretary. Secretary, confidential correspondence, chief administrative officer, responsible person, and the last appointment. Secretary iaitu setiausaha yang melibatkan aktiviti surat menyurat yang sulit ataupun rahsia, dan juga ketua pengawal tadbir, orang yang bertanggungjawab di atas segala urusan syarikat. Key skill for secretary have 4. First, communication. Second, qualification and knowledge. Third, practical experience. And the last, compliance. The next is key qualities for secretary. First, trusted, conservative, clear thinker, and organization. Next, duties of the company secretary. First, maintaining the company statutory registers, register of members, and index of members' name if more than 15, register of directors and secretaries, register of directors' residential addresses, register of charges, records of director and shareholder meetings and resolutions, register of interest in share public companies only. Second, dealing with the administration of share transfer. Third is coordinating inspection of the company's statutory registers, assistance in relation to boards and shareholder meetings and related paperwork, filling of information as company house, details of directors and secretaries, alteration to the article of association, the annual accounts, the annual return, details of share issues. The next topic is auditors. As compared to the sole proprietorship or partnership, the company form of organization differs in one important respect, and it is that the business, like sole proprietorship or a partnership firm, is managed by the owners. Second, whereas in case of a company, the ownership of the company and the management was in different person. And the last, the shareholders who are the owners of the company have no rights to take part in the management of business. The next is qualification of auditors. According to the provision in section 226 of Company Acts, according to the provision of Charters Account Acts 1949, a person who is a member of the Institutes of Chartered Accountants of India qualified and can be appointed as an auditor of the company. Any firm whose all partners are qualified and practicing chartered accountants, and those who possess the above-mentioned eligibility, such firm can practice in the name of the firm. A person holding a certificate under Restrict Auditors Certificates Rules 1956 is also qualified to act as auditors of a company. And the last is the central government is empowered to cancel the validity of such certificates. The central government has formulated the Certificates Auditors Rules 1961. Next, I want to explain removal of an auditor. First, on the expiry of his term, the first auditor appointed by board of directors holds office till the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. The company can remove such auditor at a general meeting and can appoint any other person, but notice for the nomination of such person must have been given to the members of the company before 15 days of meeting if there is no appointment of retiring auditors. Removal of an auditor yang pertama pada tamat tempohnya, juru audit pertama yang dilantik oleh lembaga pengarah yang mana memegang jawatan sehingga annual general meeting tamat, dan syarikat boleh menyingkirkan juru audit tersebut di dalam mesyuarat tersebut dan boleh melantik orang lain untuk menggantikan tempatnya. Tetapi pembaharuan untuk pencalonan orang tersebut mesti diberikan kepada anggota syarikat sebelum 14 hari mesyuarat. Sekiranya tidak ada pelantikan, juru audit tersebut akan dipecat. The second is before the expiry of his term, the auditor appointed by board of directors can be removed by the shareholders in the general meeting and another person nominated to be appointed in his place, for which a special notice has to be given to the members 40 days before the meeting. The approval of central government is not required. In other circumstances, the auditor can be removed by the company, but the approval of central government must be obtained. Sebelum tamat tempohnya, juru audit yang dilantik oleh lembaga pengarah boleh dikeluarkan oleh pemegang saham dalam mesyuarat agung, dan orang lain yang dicalonkan untuk dilantik di tempatnya atau pengganti, yang mana notis khas harus diberikan kepada ahli tersebut 14 hari sebelum mesyuarat. Kelulusan kerajaan pusat tidak diperlukan. Dalam keadaan lain, juru audit boleh dikeluarkan oleh syarikat, tetapi kelulusan kerajaan pusat mesti diperoleh. The next topic is meetings. Dictionary, a private or public gathering or assembly of people for entertainment, discussion, legislation, and so on. A gathering of two or more persons called to receive a report, take a decision, or lawful action. Sharp versus Dawes, a meeting was defined as an assembly of people for lawful purpose or a coming together of more than one person. United Investment and Financial Limited versus Teaching Young, in the absence of authorization in the articles, a meeting cannot be constituted by one member, and any resolution purported to be passed at such a meeting are invalid. Menurut kamus, meeting iaitu perhimpunan peribadi ataupun umum ataupun perhimpunan untuk hiburan, perbincangan dan juga undang-undang. Perhimpunan dua atau lebih orang yang dipanggil untuk menerima laporan, mengambil keputusan ataupun tindakan yang sah. Menurut Sharp vs. Dawes, pertemuan ataupun meeting didefinisikan sebagai perhimpunan untuk tujuan yang sah ataupun pertemuan lebih daripada satu orang. Sekiranya tidak ada kebenaran dalam artikel, mesyuarat tidak dapat dibentuk oleh satu anggota dan sebarang ketetapan yang akan disahkan dalam mesyuarat tersebut. Menurut pandangan United Investment and Financial Limited versus Teaching Young. The next is types of meeting. First, annual general meetings. A meeting held every year to inform an organization members of previous and future activities. This meeting is often required by law or the constitution of charter of an organization, directors and shareholders. AGM ataupun mesyuarat agung tahunan. Mesyuarat akan diadakan setiap tahun untuk memberitahu ahli organisasi mengenai aktiviti sebelumnya dan pada masa akan datang. Mesyuarat ini sering diperlukan oleh dari segi undang-undang atau perlembagaan ataupun piagam organisasi. yang mana melibatkan pengarah dan juga pemegang saham. The second is board meeting, a management meeting involving the board of directors of an organization, board of directors, board of governors, syndicates. They are held as much as individuals companies require, attended by all board members and chaired by a chairman of board. Boards meeting ataupun mesyuarat dewan, di mana mesyuarat pengurusan yang melibatkan lembaga pengarah organisasi dan juga lembaga pengarah pemerintahan. Mereka diadakan seperti yang dikehendaki oleh syarikat individu yang dihadiri oleh semua ahli dewan dan dipengerusikan oleh ketua dewan. The third is staff meetings, a meeting of all the staff from parts of an organization to schedule the working within the depths. Staff meeting iaitu mesyuarat semua kaki tangan dari sebahagian organisasi untuk menjadualkan kerja di setiap bahagian. Committee meetings, a meeting of a group set up from a larger group to manage specific issues. Mesyuarat kumpulan yang ditubuhkan dari kumpulan yang lebih besar untuk menguruskan masalah tertentu. Departmental meetings, a meeting of the staff in a department for planning, discussion, and reporting, chaired by chairman of the department, finance debts, quality debts, export debts. Mesyuarat kaki tangan di jabatan untuk merancang, membincangkan dan melaporkan masalah-masalah yang berlaku, yang mana dipengerusikan oleh ketua jabatan. Ahli yang terlibat iaitu Jabatan Kewangan, Jabatan Kualiti dan juga Jabatan Eksport.